The idea of this video blog is, first of all, in stocks, and let's say the proper concept of investing in stocks, you want to buy the strongest stocks in the strongest sectors when the market's healthy. Well, obviously, the market is healthy right now, and you always have choices between this and between that or X, Y, Z. What's interesting is the new concept of electric vehicles. And the purveyor of that obviously was Tesla. And if you look at Tesla, before we look at NIO, let's look at Tesla and let's look at the weekly. You can see it just had this massive, massive move even from 2020. From 88, it's 10 times your money. The question is, how do you invest in Tesla or NIO safely, if this is what you really wanted to do? So, firstly, in my opinion, is let me make also NIO into a weekly. Okay. And also had a tremendous move. Actually, it's a greater move almost. But what I first look at, I like using Investor Business Daily. And they rank the stocks. Like the first thing is right here. It's a B plus. Compare it to Tesla, also a B plus. It doesn't take you a lot of difference. You can look at the liquidity. You look at the liquidity. Both have a lot of liquidity, a lot of money going into both of these stocks. Tesla obviously has more. So this isn't really overly definitive. But then what happens if you skim down here, within the auto manufacturers group, Tesla is the strongest stock within that group. And what's interesting is NIO is even way behind it. And then you can look, one of the other things that's also very important is I want to buy stocks that are in the top 40. Just because I put my finger in the air and I say, great, I want to buy marijuana stocks or I want to buy this kind of thing. I want to buy stocks that are in the top 40 ranking. Maybe it'll change. So, market's in a confirmed uptrend. You can see all this good stuff. Okay? But the negatives are the earnings acceleration. There are some negatives here, and then you have some super positives. So, firstly, compare NIO to Tesla on a fundamental basis. On that standpoint, Tesla stands out. That's first. Okay? The next thing is you look on the technicals. You can argue easily that this stock took off much, much greater, but it's also much harder to invest in it. It just took off. There's very few entries, let's say on the weekly. Let's jump down to the daily. And the only entry which I see now is right here, where you have a cup and you took it out. You have this basically this plateau here. You could be buying here potentially, and your risk to the 50-period moving exponential moving average, or you could even go buy here because then it's making a brand new high. Let's talk about Tesla for a sec. Tesla had a lot more entry potentialities back here, especially right after COVID. You had a nice move here at COVID. There was another recent one at 466, which is going to be here. One second, let me move this over a little bit. Actually, down here, my mistake. It was 466 because I recall it. So here's your move. And then you can even be saying now that you have this consolidation here. This is another little bit of area that you might consider buying out of the high here. The only negative is, and there is a big negative to these, there's a lot of hype, there's a lot of money being thrown here, and look how far this is away from the 50-period exponential moving average. So you're basically at from 683 up to 900. It's a big, big gap. When there's a lot of these big gaps, there could be air pockets like this. I mean, look at this example where it was a tremendous move above the 50. I like seeing some retracement here. I'm not overly crazy about Tesla. I think there's some other stronger stocks that are just forming bases and have higher fundamentals. And with NIO, I mean, you can see the difference here. It's closer to the 50-period exponential moving average. And you can say that this is your buy point here or another buy point here, but your absolute risk is if you're closing below the 50-period exponential moving average. And then the other issue too would be it'd be 7% from your entry. Always run tight stops to protect yourself because you never want a loss to keep on going, no matter how much you love the stock. Maybe you love Tesla and you love NIO, but the thing is, good stocks can have problems. Everything can have problems. So you have to work with a definite plan. And that's what we look to do, is try to teach you how to trade with a plan and invest with a plan. If you have any questions, please send them over in the comments. Hopefully you like this video and you find it interesting and you like the video and share the video. Thank you very much. There'll be more coming.